Hi there, I'm going to do part one of the project now from my company. My company is Walgreens. I just picked it at random because nobody else picked it. First things to do here is you should have your instructions, project description. It says obtain a copy of the most recent annual financial statements. You can obtain it from the company's website, find 10K on SEC's website, and use the audited financial statements, not of intermediary like Google Finance, Yahoo, things like that. Okay, so here we go. I got here Mozilla Firefox is open. My company is Walgreens. So I'm going to go right to the company's website. And I'm going to look for investor relations. Here you can see company information. Company info, investor relations is usually what it's called. Here you go, investor relations. Look for annual reports or SEC filings. I'm going to go to SEC filings. And I'm looking for Form 10K. So I'm going to go to annual. And here you can see the most recent annual report. And it has it in lots of different formats. So I'm going to download a PDF. If I can. Or, there we go. Alternatively, I can download it in Excel. I really like to be able to do that. Oftentimes on the company's website, you can download it from Excel. And that's really ideal. It helps you to have it in an Excel format. Now, if it's not on the company's own website, then you can go to the SEC's website. It's sec.gov. I have a full link here. You're going to look for Edgar, search for Edgar for company filings. Type in the name of your company. Sometimes there's more than one. Usually it's the one with the SIC code that matches your business. And here you can see all of SIC's filings with the SEC. So you're going to look specifically for annual reports. So you can type in here under filing type 10K. And here you can see documents. And here's the whole thing. Sometimes there's a link here to a PDF, but I don't see it. So here is the whole thing. What you can do if you want is you can print it to a PDF. There are various different ways to do this. Copy and paste it into a Word file, something like that. Various different approaches that you can use. The next thing the project asks you to do is to print it. Well, if you have a PDF, this is really easy to do. I just go to this and find the pages where the balance sheet are. Sometimes you have to scroll a lot through this and search through 120 pages. Walgreens is actually pretty short if it's only 120 pages. Here we go. So they have the consolidated statements and comprehensive income. Which is your statement of income. Statements of stockholders' equity, we know about that. Consolidated balance sheets. And consolidated statements of cash flows. And then notes. So this is what you would print out. The other thing you need is that you need a balance sheet from the previous year's financial statement. So you can either get this off of Edgar, the SEC's website, or what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to last year's annual report and download this in Excel. And that's port A. Next thing to do is download the spreadsheet template. You download that directly from Blackboard. Open the template. Let me rename it first. Prepared by, so my name is Walgreen. Here's my 10K. I don't know the date of the most recent, so I'm going to have to look that up. Period ending August 31st, 2013. The next step is to do the input pages. Now, if you want, you can do this in a manual way. The way you would do it manually is simply look up the information in the 10K and then copy it into here like so. So for example, I have my 10K here. I go to the balance sheet. Which was about here. And then, for example, current assets it asks for. You can see here the current assets is 11,874 in the most recent year. So here you would type in for current assets 11,874. The prior year, current assets is 10,760. So 10,760. And for the base year, you would need to look up, because companies only give 2 years balance sheets. For the base year, you would need to look up 2011, and that's why I downloaded a separate 10K for last year, and that will have 2011. That's one approach that you can take. The approach that I happen to like to do, which is a little more thorough, but you don't have to do this if you don't want, is I look up I put the whole balance sheet right into my spreadsheet. So this is the 10K in Excel form. If you remember, I had downloaded it before. And I look up the balance sheet here. I don't know what this baby's doing. Basically, what they have here is they have every single financial statement that's in the 10K. And most companies have this on their websites, but not all. So I have this, I copy it, and then I paste it into my template right over here. Project spreadsheet has a page for original balance sheet. So I just cut and paste this. Like so. And here I have a balance sheet. So then I link all the cells. For example, current assets would be equal to total current assets right here. And this is a cleaner way to do it. Current assets from the prior year is over here. Property, plant, equipment, and net would be, let's see, here we go. Property and equipment at cost less accumulated depreciation and amortization right there. Goodwill and other intangibles. Let's see what they have. Sometimes you have to improvise a little in finding these things. Goodwill. There we go. There's no intangibles here, just goodwill. So goodwill I'm going to copy from here. And then other assets will be everything that didn't go into the other one. So I had here equity investment in Alliance Boots. The Alliance Boots call option is another one. Another one is other non-current assets. And you want to make sure when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you get every single asset. Otherwise, it's not going to be balanced. And then total assets, if this is done properly, total assets will agree to your balance sheet, $35,481 and $35,481. And then I feel really good. Current liabilities. I'm linking these formulas because this is good Excel technique. Long-term liabilities. Usually they don't tell you what long-term liabilities is. You have to add it manually. So you can see we have long-term debt, we have deferred income taxes, and we have other non-current liabilities. These three items. And then total liabilities would be the sum of these. 16027. Contributed capital is, let's see, is the same as paid in capital. So it would be whatever preferred stock here. Very few companies have anything there. Common stock plus what's called paid in capital. That's going to be all of your contributed capital. Paid in capital and contributed capital are the same thing. Retained earnings, you know what that is. Retained earnings is right there, 21,523. And then treasury stock and other equity is all the other items. So there's employee stock loan receivable here that I didn't include elsewhere. You got to include everything you didn't include in the other items. And treasury stock, those three items. Now if I did this right, then the sum of these two, 16027 and 19454, will be equal to 35,481. And look at that, isn't that beautiful? So that's how you're going to do your condensed balance sheet. Condensed income statement, similar thing. You need to combine the items into these categories. And same thing with condensed statement of cash flows. So you would find in your financial statements, whether you have it in PDF format or you have it in Excel, you would find them and put them in over here. The last thing to do is condense common size and condensed trend analysis. So these you're going to prepare over here. Here's your common size balance sheet as we did in class, and here's a trend analysis on your balance sheet. Here's your common size income statement, and here's a trend analysis on the income statement. Just so you know, when you're doing the income statement, the common size balance sheet, you remember, was based on total assets. Common size income statement is based on total sales or revenue. And those are the A, B, C, and D steps. When you're submitting this, please submit it online. And if you also want to submit printed materials, a printout of your spreadsheet, and also a copy of the audited financial statements as it explains in the instructions. And that should all be done